Anyhow, we can discuss it once again. Good afternoon, children. Okay. So we can continue with, we are going to continue with what we discussed in the morning. So morning we learned how to find the index numbers, how to find the weighted prices index number, average index number, and all we learned. Okay. Now write the next heading, types of index number. Write down this in your notebook. Types of index number. Okay, sometimes they will give some examples and you will ask to identify what is the type. Types of index numbers. Types of index numbers. Under that, first one is value index number. First one is value index number. Value index number. Okay, so what is meant by value index number? Okay, sometimes, okay, you might have seen some ranking will be given. If you take this Honda, it is the first company. Then Bajaj comes the second company, like that. Some ranking, some values will be assigned. Okay, not only for the companies, for the players also some rankings are there. Is or no? Huh? What you heard about rankings? Okay, so based on the rankings, if we calculate the index number, we call that as value-based index number. Is it clear? When we calculate the index number based on the values assigned to a sub-object or to a company for a particular period. Okay, so we call that as value index. Write down. It is the measure of average value. It is the measure of average value for a particular period. For a particular period with that of the average period. It is the measure of average value for a particular period with that of the average period of the base period. Okay, we just learn what are the types. We are not going to find it and all. We learn just what are the different types of numbers. So first one is value-based index number. I think this one we discussed earlier. In your book also we have the same, isn't it? Check your textbook. The day I asked you to mark it. Types of index numbers, page number 434. There are 4 types of index numbers are there. Price index number, quantity index number, the same thing. Same thing is given, but okay, note it once again. So value index number. Second one is quantity index number. Quantity index number. Second one is quantity index number. So quantity index number gives the measure of change in the quantity of goods produced. Quantity of goods produced or quantity of goods consumed, sold within the particular time. Okay, it gives, okay, it is a measure of change. It is a measure of change in the quantity of goods produced or consumed, goods produced, consumed, or sold. Okay, children. Okay, not. So first one is value-based. Second one is quantity index number. It is a measure of change in the quantity of goods consumed or sold within a particular period of time. Within a particular period of time. Example of quantity index number is, write down, industrial production, index industrial production, IIP. Note down all these terms. Okay, sometimes the example will be asked and you'll be asked to find out. IIP. IIP. Index of industrial production. Index of industrial production is an example of quantity index. Index of industrial production. Index of industrial production. It is an example for quantity index number. It's an example for quantity index number. Okay, third one is price index number. Price index number. Price index number. So it is a measure of relative price change. It is a measure of relative price change over a period of time. Okay, it measures the change in the price. Okay, it is a measure of relative price change over a period of time. Example is CPI. What is CPI? Politics students is there? Here it is consumer price index. Okay, it is consumer price index. Consumer price index. This consumer price index, CPI. Okay, so listen children, under this in CPI, in consumer price index, we have this following. Okay, these followings are some parts, some major groups. Okay, write down this, note down it. The major groups of consumer price index are, first one is housing. First one, housing. Second one, apparel. Third one, transportation. Fourth one, education and communication. Fourth one, education and communication. Fourth one, education and communication. Fifth one, recreation. Sixth one, medical care. Seventh one, food and beverages. These are the major groups coming under consumer price index. Food and beverages. And eighth one, other goods and services. Other goods and services. Other goods and services. Okay. So these are about the types of index numbers. So the next one is limitations. What are the limitations in index number? Limitations in index number. First one, there are chances for errors. Okay, there are chances for errors. When we prepare, construct index numbers, there is chance for constructing index numbers with errors because we collect the data. Okay, we collect the data. Once we collect the data, suppose in the data, when the sample collected, it's having some mistake, some error, then that error will be shown in the analysis, inferences, and everything. Okay, so that error will be shown in all the other cases. Okay, so there are chances for error. That is the first point. Suppose the index number, because the index number is the collection of samples. From the samples, we collect the data. Okay, based on the samples only we write. Okay, so there are chances for error. Similarly, okay, it is calculated based on items which may not be in trend. It is based on, okay, it is based on the items. It is calculated based on the items which may not be in trend. We calculate the index numbers of some items which are not in trend. So there may be some inaccurate analysis may be there. Okay. So there is a chance of creating an inaccurate analysis. So first one is chances of error is there. Second one, we prepare index numbers. We construct index numbers for the data which are not in trend. Sometimes we do for that. So there may be an error. There may be a chance for error. Third one is we have learned, look at there, for index numbers, simple, there are two methods. In weighted average, we are learning 5 or 6 methods. Okay, so there are various methods for constructing index numbers. Okay, so there are many methods. Multiple methods are used for constructing index numbers. Okay, write down. If there is a single method, every time we will get the same answer. Here, multiple method. Accordingly, we will get the outcomes as different, which may lead to a confusion. Okay. So write down. Multiple methods are used to formulate index number. Multiple methods are used to formulate index number. So the outcomes may be different. So the outcomes may be different and may create confusion. Outcomes may be different and may create confusion. Okay. The next one is it may be skewed. Skewed means what? Okay, it may be partial. That is to we consider only few items. We are not considering all the whole items. Okay, if we take for example, if we select a number of people affected with some disease, or means we select only those data which are known to us. We are not collecting all the data. Okay, which are the factors and all, means we consider only the main factors. Okay, so it may be skewed. There is a chance it may be skewed. Okay. So selection of representative commodities may be skewed. Selection of representative commodities may be skewed. Selection of representation commodities may be skewed. So these are the 4 limitations. Write the next question. Write the next one. The wholesale price index. The wholesale price index. The wholesale price index or price relative index. The wholesale price index or price relative index of rice. The wholesale price index or price relative index of rice in 2012 as compared to 2010. In 2012 as compared to 2010. As compared to 2010 is 130. Is 130. If the cost of rice was rupees 12, if the cost of rice was rupees 12 per kg, if the cost of rice was rupees 12 per kg in 2010, if the cost of rice was rupees 12 per kg in 2010, calculate the cost in 2012. Calculate the cost in 2012. Look at here. What is given here? Read the question and you have to identify what is given here. Look at here. The wholesale price index of rice in 2012 to 2010 is 130, isn't it? Compared to 210. Sorry, 2010. 2012. We compare it with 2010 so that we get the index number. What is the index number here? It is 130. That is, the cost is increased by 30%, isn't it? By the year 2012, the cost is increased by 30%. And what type of index number we calculate here? We calculate price relative of rice. Price relative of the rice. What is the formula for price relative? Price relative, it is no weight. So you have to look at only for the symbol. In symbol, what is the formula we have learned for price relative? We have learned in the beginning, we learned one formula. Price relative is given by, only one item is there means, price relative is given by, what is the formula we have learned? Price relative is sigma, not sigma. Instead of, if you take it for 1 year, Pn by P naught. Is it? In the beginning, we wrote one formula. Pn or P1 by P naught into 100 is 130. Okay. Relative price. Price in the current year by price in the base year into 100 is 130. Okay. What is Pn? Pn or P1. Okay. In some reference books, we use P1. It is P naught. Both are equivalent. P1 by P naught or Pn by P naught into 100. Okay. So now look at here. Read the question again. Here, the wholesale price index of price in 2012 compared to 2010 is 130. If the cost of price was rupees 12 per kg in 2010, we want to find the price in 2012. So Pn, we don't know. P naught is given as rupees 12. Isn't it? Into 100 is 130. So now here cross multiply and find out what is the price. What is the price of rice in the year 2012? What is the answer, children? What is the value of Pn?
15.6.
15.6. Yes. Pn is 130 into 12 by 100, isn't it? So 1 0 will get cancelled. So it is 15.6. Is it correct, Aditya?
Yes, ma'am.
Now take your textbook, children. Take your textbook. Tell me which all the questions in exercise we have not discussed. Which are the questions we did in the class and which are the questions we have not discussed? Yes, Tomlin. Can you tell me which are the questions not discussed in the class exercise? Exercise 11.1. Tell me which are the questions we have not discussed. Femina, look at the 12th one, whether we have discussed that one, 12th one. Few questions you have discussed. The remaining, which all the questions you have not discussed, you do it as homework. Anyhow, now let us do the 12th question. Read the question. Femina, read the question, 12th one. Read the 12th question. Yes, Femina. Karthik, read the 12th question, Karthik.
The index number for the following data for the year 2011, taking 2010 as a base year, was found to be 116. The simple aggregative method was used for calculation. Find the numerical values of x and y if the sum of prices in the year 2011 is 203.
This one we discussed in the class, 11th one. Is it the way discussed? One similar question we discussed, finding x and y. Is it that question? Or another question? Finding x and y.
We have not discussed this question.
Have not discussed. Okay, write down this. So we can do that one, 12th one. Okay, the remaining and all are direct formula questions. Try to complete all the questions in your textbook, exercise questions. Okay. Now look at the 12th question. Read the question, what is given here? That index number for the year 2011, taking 2010 as base year, is given as 116. Index number is given as 116. Then the simple aggregate method is used for the calculation. Find the numerical values of x and y if the sum of prices for the year 2011 is 203. Sum is given, sum of prices. So I'm drawing the tabular column here, commodity prices in 2010. Next is for the year 2011. The commodity, 6 commodities are there. A, B, C, D, E, F. For A, it is given as 20, it is 25. For B, 10, 30. And for C, 30, 15. D, 25, 45. E, X, 35. F, 50, and Y. And what is given? Sum of all prices for the year 2011. It is given as 203. This is given as 203. So that is it, which is your P naught, which is your current year, which is your base year? We are finding the index number for the year 2011. So this is our P1, isn't it? This is our P naught. So here sigma P1 is given as 203. So when we add up all those things, we are getting 203. So 25 plus 30 plus 15 plus 45 plus 35 plus y is 203. Simplify this and find out what is the value of y. Find the value of y. Same way, index number is given. And what type of index number is calculated then? It is symbol aggregate method. We use the symbol aggregate method. In symbol aggregate method, what is the formula for index number? In symbol aggregate method, index number is given by P01 or P index number I is equal to sigma P1 by sigma P0 into 100. Sigma P1 by sigma P0 into 100. Index number is given as 116 is equal to, what is sigma P1? It is 203 by sigma P0. When you add all those things, find out what is sigma P0. When you add this, is it 135 plus X? 135 plus X into 100. Cross multiply, simplify, and find out what is X. Similarly, find out Y. Do the calculation. What is the value of Y?
53.
Y is 53. Okay. Similarly, find out X. Simplify this value, cross multiply, and find out what is X. What is the value of X, children? Give it fast.
40.
40, 40.
Yes, ma'am.
Others, please check it. Is it correct? Check it. Is X is 40? Tomlin? Is it X is 40?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. See, hope you all completed that one. Completed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now write the next one. Write the next question. This is again an 1 mark question. During a certain period, the cost of index, during a certain period, the cost of index goes from 110 to 200. Okay, cost of index changes from 110 to 200. It changes from 110 to 200. And the salary of a worker was raised from rupees 3,250 to 5,000. Okay, it is increased from 3,250 to 5,000. Does the worker really gain or lose? Does the worker really gains or loses? Really gains or loses? And by how much amount? 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 Okay. During a certain period, the cost of index number goes from 110 to 200. And the salary of the worker is also raised from 3,250 to 5,000. Does the worker really gains or loses, and by how much amount? Okay, so these are some examples, okay, and some important 1 mark questions. Okay, so you can imagine, okay, suppose sudden change arise, or sometimes war is coming or something, means what happens? All the prices will increase. Okay. Okay, similarly, such a situation is given here. Here, what is given? The price of index. Actually, that time the cost of living was 110, and it is increased to 200. Okay, accordingly, what is done here? The salary is increased. He had amount of 3,250, and the increased salary is 5,000. Now the question is, will it be satisfied? Whether he'll be able to do it with it, manage with that amount. Yes or no? Is it clear what I'm saying here? Okay, imagine such a situation. Okay, now we have to check whether is it possible, whether he is gaining or whether he is losing. When you look at there is a huge amount increases there. Amount is 5,000 rupees. Initially, in the beginning, he had only 3,000. Whether he'll be able to survive, whether he's losing or gaining, how to do this? You compare the rate. Okay, just compare the rate. Initially, he had an income of 3,200, isn't it? Initial stage, you calculate the income in the beginning. Initial stage income he had is 3,250 income or salary. And what is the index there? Cost of living index, it is given as, that time the cost of living index is 110. So what is the cost of living index? It is 110. Now you divide these two. Therefore, what is the rate here? Actual rate. You can find it as real wage. Or here, okay, the term we call it as real wage. So what is the real wage here? 3,250 divided by 110. So when you divide this, 325 by 11. So how many times? 325 by 11 into 100, children. You have to multiply by 100. You are calculating in percentage. Into 100. So 325 by 11. 325, when you divide it by 11, 2 times 22, 95, 8, 8, It is not 105, isn't it? So 9 times 99. Subtract it and give me the answer, children. 29. 105. 9 times 99. So you'll get 6. Okay, 6. Then not possible. So 60. So you can write 5. 55. Again 5. 50. So 2954 something you will get. 295.54 into 100. So you'll get 2954. Okay, so during that time, although his income is 3,250, cost of living is 110. What is the real wage needed that time is 2,954. See, he is gaining more that time. Now look at the next time, the final stage, that is in the year. Year is not given. Okay, so in the year, instead of writing in the year, you take the final year. So final year, his income is increased by 5,000. And what is the index? Cost of living index is? Cost of living index is given as 200. Now here again you calculate what is the real wage. What is the real wage? Here 5,000 by 200 into 100. So if you cancel this, you get 2,500 only he gets. So actual wages he will get is approximately 2,500. Now look at here, whether he is getting a profit or loss. Here it is a loss. Okay. So here it is a loss for him. And what is the loss? Loss will be same as 2,954 minus 2,500. So we get 454. We get 454. Loss is 454. Is it clear, children? Is it okay? In the next class, note it down, children, note down. In the next class, do the exercise questions 11.1 as homework, in which I'll be sending few questions today. That questions you have to write it as an assignment. Assignment means write the question and solve it in an A4 sheet, staple it and keep it separate. That is for your assessment. Few questions you'll be doing as assessment for the internal assessment. Okay, hereafter, whenever assignments are given, do it in an A4 sheet and keep it separate. Okay. For the last subject, for the last term also, not last term, last chapter I gave some assignment. Is that no? What is the assignment I gave? Last chapter is this linear inequalities. I gave some assignments. Linear inequalities, I gave one assignment. Is that no? Calculating.
Yes, ma'am.
Acid and base solution, that comparison I gave. So staple it and keep it for each chapter. Some assignments. Okay, some internal assessments. For the internal assessment, you have to write assignments. Okay, here I'll send 1 or 2 or 3 questions. Do that 2 or 3 questions as assignment and keep it separate. When you write the assignment, hereafter write in A4 sheet. Write in A4 sheet, keep it separate. Okay, write it neatly. Write the question and answer, not the answer only. Write the question and answer. Okay, children. With this, we wind up today's session. Thank you.